Welcome to Photos and Travel, a show that introduces you to fascinating places around the world. Please welcome our host and tour guide, Jonathan van Bilsen.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of Photos and Travel, where we bring the world to your doorstep. Today we're going to travel halfway across the globe to the ultra-modern and extremely opulent United Arab Emirates city of Dubai. We'll begin exploring the successful existence of this contemporary metropolitan area in the desert right after these messages.
Thinking promotional to brand your organization? At PP Print, we can help with so much to offer. Just ask, we've got you covered. PP Print, where experience pays off.
Planning your next travel destination is always fun, but don't forget to check with Travel Health Associates of Port Perry to learn what precautions are necessary for your destinations. Travel Health Associates of Port Perry is always ready to meet your travel needs.
Dubai is known for its ultra-modern architecture, luxury shopping, and lively nightlife scene. One does not visit Dubai, one experiences it. Right on the Persian Gulf, directly across from Iran, Dubai is a very modern metropolis. I was fortunate to fly on the new Emirates Airlines A380 double-decker and must admit, this is one of those cases where the journey was a major part of the experience. The A380 is the world's largest airliner with a seating capacity of 880 passengers. Unfortunately, due to weak sales, Airbus announced they are no longer going to produce this giant aircraft. Flying into Dubai is a wonderful experience, especially if you have an opportunity to see the city from the airplane window. Located in the eastern part of the Arabian Peninsula, on the coast of the Persian Gulf, Dubai aims to be the business hub of Western Asia. Dubai International Airport is the primary airport serving the United Arab Emirates, and it's the world's busiest airport for international passenger traffic. During normal operation, there are over 7,700 weekly flights with a total of 90 million travelers passing through the airport. I flew into Dubai after spending several weeks in Sri Lanka, so the JA Ocean View Hotel was a very luxurious change. There are approximately 550 hotels in this city of 3.5 million, most of which are quite opulent and are located on or near the Persian Gulf. The United Arab Emirates is an alcohol-free country. However, by showing your passports, you are able to have a drink as long as it's in an international hotel. The Persian Gulf is an extension of the Indian Ocean through the Strait of Hormuz and lies between Iran to the northeast and the Arabian Peninsula to the southwest. It appears as every hotel tries to outdo its neighbors by adding very interesting artwork or just by their sheer size. Not all of the more than 100,000 hotel rooms are located along the Gulf. Some of the older ones are inland in the original part of the city, including the Riviera, which is one of the oldest and is located in the shopping district. Prior to 2013, when Dubai did not have a sewage system, waste from hotels and buildings would be transported away by hundreds of trucks every day. With oil reserves dwindling, Dubai has needed to reinvent itself to stay relevant in the modern world. The Prince of Dubai, Sheikh Rashid, has worked tirelessly to invest in architecture and engineering projects in the region to make Dubai the most modern city in the world. Dubai's investment is expected to attract many millions of tourists over the coming years. The architecture of Dubai reflects its vast culture, heritage, and explosive growth and development of the city, making Dubai undeniably exquisite with some of the world's best architectural wonders, including this, the Dubai Frame, a landmark described as the biggest picture frame in the world. The United Arab Emirates is a federation of 7 states that has grown from a quiet backwater to one of the Middle East's most important economic centers. Though traditionally conservative, the UAE is one of the most liberal countries in the Gulf, with other cultures and beliefs generally tolerated. Dubai is thought to have been established as a fishing village in the early 18th century, and was by 1822 a town of some 700 members of the Bani Yas tribe and subject to the rule of the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi. After years of exploration following large finds in neighboring Abu Dhabi, oil was eventually discovered in the territorial waters off Dubai in 1966, albeit in far smaller quantities. In 1990, oil accounted for 24% of the gross domestic product, but it had been reduced to 7% by 2004. Dubai's geographical proximity to Iran made it an important trade location. By the beginning of the 20th century, it was an important port and famous for its pearl exports, which lasted well into the 1930s. The pearl trade was diminished by the 1929 Great Depression and the innovation of cultured pearls. Despite a lack of oil, Sheikh Rashid, Dubai's ruler from 1958, used revenue from trading activities to build infrastructure. It wasn't until 1959 that a master plan was created, which included the building of a crude airport, a telephone company, and an electric company. In 1963, the Sheikh borrowed money from his cousin, the ruler of Qatar, to build the first bridge across the Dubai Creek, which we'll talk about a little later on. Throughout the 1960s, Dubai was the center of a lively gold trade, with imports of gold valued at $72 million US. At today's value, it would be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. In 1966, more gold was shipped from London to Dubai than almost anywhere else in the world, approximately 4 million ounces. Later that year, oil was discovered, supporting the already booming growth and changing the city forever. The uniquely twisted building seen here is the Cayenne Tower, or Infinity Tower, the world's second tallest high-rise building with a 90-degree rotation. Only the Shanghai Tower is taller. However, this structure is quite an engineering marvel. Since 1892, Dubai had been a British protectorate, where the British government took care of foreign policy and defense as well as arbitrating between the rulers of the Eastern Gulf principalities. This was to change with Prime Minister Harold Wilson's announcement that all troops were to be withdrawn from the Middle East. Perhaps if he'd waited a few years until oil was discovered throughout the region, his decision may have been different. During the 1970s, Dubai continued to grow from revenues generated from oil and trade, even as the city saw an influx of immigrants fleeing the Lebanese Civil War. The Gulf War of 1990 had a negative financial effect on the city as depositors withdrew their money and traders withdrew their trade. But subsequently, the city recovered in a changing political climate and thrived. Later in the 1990s, many foreign trading communities moved their business to Dubai. The city provided refueling bases to Allied forces during the Gulf War and again during the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Large increases in oil prices after the Gulf War encouraged Dubai to continue to focus on free trade and tourism. Khor Dubai, or Dubai Creek in English, is a natural seawater inlet in the Arabian Gulf located in the heart of Dubai. The creek divides the city into 2 parts and has played a major role in the economic development of the region throughout history. The earliest known description of Dubai Creek is found in an 1822 report by a British Royal Navy officer. The creek was more than likely the reason for Dubai's initial settlement back in the 1500s. Fishing would have thrived along the creek, whose warm and shallow water supported a diverse and rich marine life. For about a century, the creek remained the only port in the city, even though it didn't allow the entry of large ships due to its limited depth. In 1955, a plan was prepared to develop the creek, which included dredging and deepening the channel to offer anchorage for local and coastal shipping up to 500 tons. With tourism taking an important role in the city's continuing development, a variety of vessels weave their way up and down the creek, offering visitors a sense of how vital an element this small stretch of water has been in the history of Dubai. Driving in Dubai is one of the most dangerous things you can undertake. There is no courtesy on the highways and everyone drives at accelerated speeds. Drivers have no lane discipline and tend to change lanes without warning. For some reason, they drive slow in the fast lanes and vice versa. Continuous construction causes numerous traffic jams, and tailgating at 130 kilometers per hour just to make you change lanes is the norm. Red light cameras are everywhere, and heavy fines are imposed for lawbreakers, which seem to have little effect in this wealthy city. Pedestrian traffic is perilous, and heavy fines for jaywalking are enforced. Driving anywhere in the Middle East can be a very interesting experience for travelers who are not used to erratic driving behavior, but it goes to a new extreme in the United Arab Emirates. Driving in Dubai can be an eye-opening experience. You may see local drivers performing extremely unsafe driving practices, such as cutting in front of fast-moving cars, changing lanes without indicating, speeding onto roundabouts at ludicrous speeds, and then for extra fun, trying to exit the roundabout from the inside lane. Intercity highways in the Emirates have unmarked speed bumps, shifting sands, and sometimes camels. Unless you have a real reason to rent a car or you're extremely adventurous, I'd recommend using the extensive public transit system, which is free of charge for the first 48 hours. A 96-hour pass can be purchased online in advance for about 15 Canadian dollars. Although there is a lot to be said for driving a Lamborghini through the streets of this exciting city. Dubai is an attractive location for expats, and an estimated 240,000 British expats already live here. Dubai attracts expatriates from all over the world, with more than 200,000 new arrivals every year. While some may find the cost of accommodations expensive, the large supply of attractive housing units, high salaries, and low taxes motivate many people to move to Dubai and live the expat lifestyle. In fact, only 15% of the city's residents are Emirati. The rest are migrant workers and expats. One of the best reasons people move to Dubai is the weather. The climate is perfect for 8 months of the year. Cloudless blue skies dominate the long hot days, and beautiful warm sea waters are close by for enjoyment. The standard of living, as I'm sure you can appreciate in Dubai, is very high. The crime rate is very low and the shopping is outstanding, mostly tax-free. Unless you're extremely wealthy and can afford any real estate you choose, you'll find the cost of housing to be high. The average rental for a one-bedroom apartment in Dubai is about $2,500. Keep in mind though, any income you earn in Dubai is not subject to tax. While Dubai is a tolerant country in most areas, there is one area that can be problematic for some, as it is illegal for unmarried couples to live together. It's difficult to imagine that a mere 50 years ago, this city of glass and steel was nothing more than a small outpost on the Arabian Peninsula. I also found it interesting that most of Dubai's wealth comes from its position as a trade center, and only 5% comes from oil. After these messages, we'll continue our visit of this over-the-top Mecca for the rich and famous.
Don't Don't feel like spending an hour in the grocery store? With PC Express, you don't have to. Simply download the app, choose your groceries, and the staff at Voss's Independent Grocer in Port Perry will have it ready for you to pick up. Come to Voss's, your independent grocer.
Dubai is a major center for medicine, banking, and a business hub for Western Asia. With its population of 4 million, it's roughly the same geographical size as the city of London and has many perks for its residents, including no income tax for many of its citizens. The city has also been very successful in working with the Persian Gulf in reclaiming some of the land. The Persian Gulf was a battlefield during the Iranian-Iraqi War of the 1980s, during which each side attacked the other's oil tankers. It was the same during the 1991 Gulf War, the largely air and land-based conflict that followed Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. Dubai, of course, was right in the thick of it. Major land reclamation in the United Arab Emirates has significantly changed the geography of many parts of the country. Countless land reclamation projects completed, under construction, and planned have changed the appearance of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and other Emirates and helped to make them world famous. One such project is the Palm Island, started in 2001. The most well-known of the three islands is Palm Jumeirah, the site of private residences and the famous Atlantis Palm Hotel. From the air, the archipelago resembles a stylized palm tree within a circle. Palm Jumeirah was built entirely from sand and rocks, with no concrete or steel used to build the island. It was largely financed from Dubai's income from petroleum. The construction of the Dubai Palm Islands has had a significant impact on the surrounding environment, resulting in changes to area wildlife and coastal erosion. Sediment stirred up by construction has suffocated local marine fauna and reduced the amount of sunlight which filters down to seashore vegetation. Altered wave patterns as the waters of the Persian Gulf attempt to move around the new obstruction of the islands has caused changes in the fragile ecosystem. Islam is the official religion of the United Arab Emirates. All Emirati citizens are Muslims, with approximately 85% being Sunni and 15% are Shia. It was decreed by the government that every resident of Dubai would be no further than half a kilometer from a mosque at any given time. The United Arab Emirates judicial system is derived from the civil law system and Sharia law. Sharia courts have a significant amount of authority. Flogging is a punishment for criminal offenses such as adultery, premarital sex, and alcohol consumption. All visitors to the United Arab Emirates must always wear appropriate clothing and look presentable. There's a reason why the United Arab Emirates is doing things differently than the rest of the Middle East. One possible reason can be relying less on oil production, as they know it's going to run out someday, and instead they're providing merchants and traders lots of investment and startup opportunities. New buildings and skyscrapers are erected every day, presenting a huge opportunity for engineers and other professionals in the building and construction sector. The healthcare industry is rising, and there's a high demand for professional and skillful doctors and clinics. Moreover, people from Asia and Africa are coming to Dubai for treatment, as it is comparatively cheaper than Europe or North America. The Old Part, or Bur Dubai, is a historic district in Dubai and is located on the western side of the Dubai Creek. Here you can find quaint shops and, of course, Dubai's famous gold markets. Be careful when you're wandering around, as kissing and holding hands is classed as inappropriate behavior, according to government guidelines. The Burj Al Arab is the only 7-star hotel in the world. It features a skyview bar, underwater restaurant, and an outdoor tennis court. It has become an iconic landmark in Dubai and is apparently one of the most photographed buildings in the world. Its design mimics a sail from an Arabian dhow. The building holds a record for being the 4th tallest hotel in the world. Some features of the hotel were complex engineering feats. It rests on artificial land, 280 meters offshore. To ensure a solid foundation, engineers were required to drive 230 concrete piles into the underlying sand. The cost of rooms starts at about $1,500 a night, but there is a golf tee on the roof where you can hit balls into the Persian Gulf. There's no shortage of things to do in Dubai, and the city caters to every element of tourism, from casinos and camel racing clubs to skydiving for the more adventurous. The city is home to many museums, including the Dubai Museum shown here. It was opened by the ruler of Dubai in 1971 with the aim of presenting the traditional way of life in the Emirates. The diving village, also located in the historic part, is designed to display a live image of the old traditional ways of life in Dubai. The village focuses on Dubai's maritime past, where you'll discover a traditional community of pearl divers. You can splash as much as you want in one of the many water parks in the city, including Aquaventure in the Atlantis Palm Hotel. Or play a round of golf on one of the 21 professionally designed courses, including the Emerald Golf Course, arguably the best in the country. And of course, there is no shortage of shopping areas. Dubai's shopping scene has made headlines in recent years for its sheer glamour and grandiosity. The city is home to the world's largest shopping center, the Dubai Mall, as well as impressive developments that range from entire shopping neighborhoods to modest outlet villages. But beneath the city's ultra-modern exterior is a rich tradition of souks, or open-air markets, selling everything from Emirati jewelry to personalized perfumes. Whether you're seeking skyscrapers or souks, brands or bartering, markets or malls, this shopping haven truly has it all. The Dubai Mall, with 1,200 stores, is the largest mall in the world. It opened its doors in 2008 and attracts more than 750,000 visitors a week. It boasts 160 restaurants, including Tim Hortons. I thought Dubai Mall was just an ordinary shopping center. However, it's anything but, and full of fantastic surprises. It's a must-see, and you'll find that you'll probably spend a lot of time there. Plus, it's a great place to escape the heat. There's a massive entertainment zone as well as a hotel. For ice skating fans, the Olympic-sized skating rink is by far the best in the city. It is hard to imagine lacing up and seeing your breath while the temperatures outside soar into the 40s Celsius. The mall is home to some of the finest and most upscale shops in the world, amazing first-time visitors at every step. We've all been through the trauma of not having places to park when visiting malls. When you're in Dubai, hospitality comes first, and lo and behold, all your parking hassles are taken care of, with space for 14,000 automobiles. The mall is also home to the Dubai Aquarium, the world's largest indoor aquarium. You can take a ride on a glass-bottom boat to view the over 33,000 aquatic animals. And for the very brave, there are cages for diving with sharks. If there's any city in the world that takes shopping malls seriously, it's Dubai. Not only do global brands flock to this retail capital, but shoppers from all over the Middle East and beyond come to Dubai to appreciate the sheer size and beauty of its 64 shopping centers, including the Emirates Mall, which, along with its 630 stores, is also a renowned indoor ski resort. At Ski Dubai, you can enjoy a day of skiing, snowboarding, tobogganing, or just simply playing with penguins. Dubai's reputation as a center of commerce was well established in the 19th century with its souks, attracting traders from all over the world. Of the 7 emirates that make up the United Arab Emirates, Dubai is the only one that has become wealthy through trading rather than oil. Although much of today's retail activity in Dubai takes place in its modern shopping malls, the city's souks are still vibrant marketplaces and are an essential part of the Dubai experience. Haggling over the price is still possible at all of Dubai's historic souks, with the exception of the gold souk, where prices are based on the market rate of gold. It is even worth bartering at some of the modern souks and shopping malls, and can result in significant price reductions. Experienced hagglers suggest tactics such as dressing shabbily, claiming to be a resident, walking away, and perfecting a sincere look of surprise when informed of the initial price, can result in significant discounts. The Burj Khalifa, formerly known as the Burj Dubai, is not only a skyscraper in Dubai, but with a total height of 830 meters or 2,700 feet, it has been the tallest structure and tallest building in the world since its construction in 2009. During the 5-year construction, the original developers experienced financial problems and required more money and economic funding. Sheikh Khalifa, the ruler of the United Arab Emirates, granted monetary aid and funding, hence resulting in the changing of the name from Burj Dubai to Burj Khalifa. At the top, Burj Khalifa Sky on level 148 offers visitors the unprecedented opportunity to soak up unmatched views of the city and beyond. Not only is Burj Khalifa the world's tallest building, but it has also broken 2 other impressive records: the tallest structure, previously held by a television mast in North Dakota, and the tallest freestanding structure, previously held by Toronto's CN Tower. Visiting Dubai is an eye-opener for what can be done when a government is prosperous and willing to invest in its infrastructure. The city is an architectural wonder with many architects from around the world willing to push the envelope and design new and exciting structures. For photosNtravel, I'm Jonathan van Bilsen. It's been my pleasure to be your tour guide today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. If you enjoyed this program, please click the subscribe button and you'll never miss an episode.
Want to know what's happening in Skugog? News and lifestyle, changes in business, and all the entertainment information you'll ever need. Plus, each edition has a new photosNtravel article. Look for your next copy in your mailbox.